lovelies. Happy FriYay. Who's in the house? I will watch you come in. Hoping you can hear me okay. There it is. I see you ladies. Look at the lovelies. They're just pouring in the door. Pouring in the door. Hello, Catherine. Hello, Sarah. There's my girl, Cassie. Kathy Wheeler's in the house. Hello, Martha. And Denise. Happy Friday. Love it, love it, love it. Love to see you ladies. Come in. There's my girl, Trisha. Hello, Trisha. And Rebecca's in the house as well. Here comes those hearts. Another Rebecca. We love the Rebeccas. There's Marguerite. I love it that you're here. And there's my girl, Pam. Hello, Yvonne. Maggie's here. She had her first sturdy fast. She did a really good job too. Tammy, hello. Eileen, hello. Susan, good to see you. Hello, Kathy. Abigail, you are so beautiful. Hello, Doris and Kathy Cox. Nice to see you, Kathy. Kathy's been to one of my workshops before in person. Hello, Gwen. Joanne's here. Of course she is. And here's my girl Lucy and Linda. Look at all you lovelies. Another Linda. I love the Lindas. Hello, Diane. And Michelle is wishing us sunbeams from Texas. I love it. Hello, Carolyn. Simone. Of course we accept credit cards from any country. We're good with that. Hello, Carla. Hi, Diane. Vanessa. Jane. We're watching you storm the great gates here, guys. We are. It was life-changing. Thank you, Kathy. That's true. I think it was life-changing for me, too. Getting together is just something. Barb, Elizabeth, and of course, there's our Jenny. Everybody say hello to Jenny. She's in the house. Jenny and I have been buzzing all day. We've been working on our stuff. And same with Marla. We've been just back and forth buzzing like little bees because we've been let's just say that we have been very productive. Hello, Shara. Very pretty name. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming by. It is a wonderful day in the neighborhood. That's a good way to put it. Hey, Liz. There's my girl, Liz. Good to see you. Good to see everybody. Thanks for popping by because here it is, FriYay. And guess what? We have so many good questions today. You guys never disappoint. I'm always delighted to answer your questions. They're well thought out. You're looking for ways to up-level your life, and I'm looking for ways to help you do just that. That's why we have FriYay Q&A, and we get real busy with it, and there are a lot of really great questions, and I want to make sure I get to them and answer all of them. I've got a full schedule today, and so I'm going to get right down to business in just half a second. I just wanted to let you know, too, the Collagen Challenge is on Monday. If you have Perfect Paleo Protein, you're going to be ready to go. If you have Perfect Paleo Protein or ordered it this month, you get the Collagen Challenge free. Watch the links. Jenny will put them all out for you. That's what she does, man. She's just like Johnny on the spot. Boom, boom, boom. She is a keyboard warrior. She makes it happen. So that's what we're trying to do, is make it happen for you. You know, Marla and I are putting together this incredible conference, and we put it together out of our hearts saying, you know, we got sucked into pandemic sourdough bread making and all the craziness that went with it. We know, and I've gotten the emails, I've gotten the messages about, holy cow, look what happened to me during the pandemic. Some people gained 20, 30 pounds. That's a lot because we defaulted to this way of comforting ourselves the way we've always done, which is destructive to our health. And our houses are reflecting the same thing of just being sheltered in. So we want to shelter out, if you will. We want to start taking our lives to that next level. And we decided, we collaborated, we put our minds together. You know, we've done this before. This is not our first rodeo. We did it with body clutter. We've done it before when we've had live conferences and we've both spoken. But this is the thing that we're looking at. It's time to really move that needle. Not just the one between your toes when you stand on the scale, but the one for your whole life, and the one to get your body and your house together. That's what we're going to do. We're so excited about it, and you can find out all about it at savingdinner.com/house. There's your link. And in it, you're going to see all the things. Here's the thing that's so exciting about it too, is it's a $47 conference, but the swag bag itself is worth over 75 bucks. Plus you get the audio of Body Clutter. Marla and I reading our Body Clutter book. It is not available to anyone else except attendees. You can't buy it. And it's out there. So that is just one of the many goodies. We've got all kinds of stuff there. So take a look at that page. Go to savingdinner.com/house. Get signed up today. We do have a limit. It's bandwidth, folks. Bandwidth. Yes, here it is. This is the deal. It is virtual. Therefore, we get a chance to bring people from all over the world together. We get to be together. But the only problem that we have with online conferences, and I've done a bazillion of them, anybody who's been with me for a long time knows, webinars and what have you, if you have too many seats, people start to get knocked out. We don't want that to happen to you. It is a first come, first served basis. Get signed up today and just be ready to strap on your learning, put on the learning hat. One of the things that Marla and I talked about, and we will figure it out, and I will have something for you. We want you to pack your lunches, a good healthy lunch, believe it or not, as if you were really going to a conference. We also want you to show up, not in your jammies, not in your sweatpants, but in clothes that you could, you would want to be seen in public. Put your makeup on, do your hair. We are going to do this in a way that is going to expand your whole life. That's the whole goal. That's our hearts. If you've known us, we've been friends for 20 years. This is what we've been doing. And when we get together, it's the 1-2 punch. And we're so excited about this. Marla is so busy right now. I just can't even tell you. She's messaging me. I'm messaging her. We've been buzzing like little bees since yesterday. So I'm just letting you know that's what's going on. Also today, we also still have glycozyme in the shop. And because we still have glycozyme in the shop, and you know what it talks about, right? Glycozyme is for your digestion. It is for blood sugar control. Those two things together are absolutely incredible. Without good digestion, you do not get any benefit from your nutrition. I want you to really think about that. Because if you're having dumping syndrome, if you have a compromised gallbladder, if you've been taking all this acid reflux medication and all of that, you have compromised digestion. That means you're not getting everything that you can out of your food. I want to change that for you. And I also want to help you with your blood sugar. Do you know our blood sugar levels go up every single year? They do. They go up every single year, but we can bring them down. We do it with our food. We do it with supplements. Glycozyme is one of the best things on the planet. It is a proprietary formulation. Take a look at it. You buy 3, I will send you a 4th one free. And you get free shipping. I'm not kidding. It's fabulous. $200 worth of supplements in that cart. And by the way, if you do glycozyme, you get free shipping. Remember that. You can pile everything else you want in there. And you get a mindful mug for free and a little note on your little packing slip saying how much I love you. I was doing note cards for a while, but we're out of them and I got to order some new ones. So right now I figured a note saying that, we are appreciative is good. So what do you think? You want to get into the weeds here a little bit? I know you do, because we have got all kinds of really good stuff here. But before we do, how about this for a quote? If you argue for your limitations, you get to keep them. Just that simple. But if you argue for your possibilities, you get to create them. You know what that is? That's a message for you. Where your energy goes, that's what expands. What you think about expands. So if you're thinking about all of your limitations and arguing and taking all that energy and saying, yeah, buts, okay, there you go. Have fun with that. But if you say, wait a minute, let me think about these possibilities, now you've got energy directed in the right direction. And doesn't that just warm your heart to know that you have that kind of power? You do. It's powerful. It's meaningful. It expands the whole entire world, and it gives you something to glom onto. It gives you hope. We want hope. We are not pathetic and powerless. We're strong and purposeful and powerful. Remember that, and it's all inside. Let God stir the pot. Let him do it. He's going to show you some great things. The recording's probably going to be available almost right after. Yeah? Almost right after. So check that out. I mean, if it might take a minute to do, but you will get an email with the recording. Here's the thing. You attend, you get that recording forever. You get that, it's like a memory book. And you can go back and find the little snippets of the stuff you want. It's going to be good stuff, you guys. I mean, really good stuff. All right, let's get down to our questions for today. We got a lot of them, and that's fabulous. So next week, if you want to get your questions answered, send in to support@savingdinner.com, and in the little subject line there, question for Leanne on Friday, and I'll answer it next Friday. They all come here. I do my research for them and make sure that you are covered. I love that. It makes it fun. Here's Jane. Jane has a question. She says, when you do your broccoli sprouts, do you cut the roots off? Is there a benefit to leaving them on? They're more palatable to me without, but I want the most nutrients. That's a really fantastic question. And the answer is yes and no. Sorry, Jane. Answer is yes and no. And the reason why is because at the sprout level, at the root level, that's where there's a propensity for more of the mold and stuff. So one of the problems with sprouts is a mold problem. That's why I really prefer you to make them yourselves instead of buying them, because there's less storage, right? However, what I have learned and what I have seen is that there can be some mold there. So if we cut them off, you know, it works. When I have Marla over like for dinner or something and I've got a big thing of sprouts, I will put those sprouts on the table with a pair of scissors, and we just go through and snip them off and then sprinkle them over the top. So I just think it's wonderful. It's wonderful, and it's healthy, and it adds to this flavor of the salad, and I agree with you. I think it's better. Also, one of the things that you can do is grow some radish sprouts as you're going. Radish have a little spike, a little spunky, spicy, a little bit of a hot note, but not hot and spicy like, you know. They're really, really delicious. So, you know, sprouts are so easy, you guys, if you get the right tools. I use the trays, not the jars, because I always get mold with that. I use the trays and the jars. It's fantastic. So here's the thing you got to look at. We have a blog post coming up, probably not this week, but the next, on exactly what to do, exactly what the benefits are, exactly to troubleshoot all of that sprout making. I'm a massive sprout maker. And one of the things that I've also found too is that usually you soak those little sprouts overnight, the little seeds overnight, and then you put them out and everything's great. Sometimes though, you get a new seed source. That's what I did this time. And it only takes like a couple of hours to soak them. The more you soak them, the more you have a propensity toward mold. So the least amount, you got to play with it sometimes. So order a whole bunch of these broccoli seeds. Get them organically. There's a lot of different suppliers out there. I just get them all from Amazon, you know, so I don't have exact links. The little trays I use are round trays, little round trays, and they have the fine mesh. It's just fantastic. Jane, you've got a mix with radish seeds. That's fantastic. So Jane shows up all the time. Jane's on my hero list. I love her. I love to see you guys show up. You know, that to me is saying that I'm participating in my life. I'm taking this information you're giving, and I'm not throwing, you know, I'm not just throwing it out there. She's actually taking it and taking it to the bank and working with it. That's what Jane does. Be like Jane. All right, Rebecca. Where are you, Rebecca? Rebecca says, when you're ready to break your fast for the day after 18 hours, should the meal be consumed in a certain time frame? Yeah, you know, there's a lot of stuff out there, and I will tell you, you can make yourself absolutely 100% dizzy from all of the advice that's out there, okay? So here's what you've got to be looking at, and this is my whole thing. When we're eating, we just don't want to rush through and gobble our food fast. We don't want to eat fast. That is one of my biggest problems. And, you know, we were talking about this last night because Marla and I had dinner last night with Robert. Robert said to Marla and I, y'all eat too fast. And we started laughing. It was just like, oh gosh, here we are again, right? Because it's a habit and it's something that we do. And one of the things that I look at is like, I'm trying to eat it while it's still warm. That's, I think, one of the reasons why I eat fast. Also having little children, you know how that is. But this is not what we want to do. We want to eat in a way that is mindful and supportive of our digestion, right? Because so chewing is important. When we chew, we release amylase in our mouths. Amylase breaks down the carbohydrates. And as it goes through, everything, you know, there's more enzymes. And this little bolus, the little thing in our mouth becomes chyme, and then that gets digested a whole lot easier. So we want to always be paying attention to that, right? This is critical. This is how we digest optimally. So we want to take our time when we're eating. But on the other hand, I just want to say this to you too. You don't have to just say, okay, I've got an hour to eat, or I've got 20 minutes to eat, or whatever. You know what I want you to do? I want you to be able to eat the way you want to eat. That's it. You don't have to have a time period, but you do need to get rid of all the snacking, and you do need to eat your meal when you're hungry. Okay? When you're hungry. Wait for hunger to come. If we're eating just because the clock says noon, oh, it's lunchtime. You know, if we're eating by the clock instead of our hunger hormones are going to be messed up. We don't want that. That's why that's why we do this. And that's why, too, Rebecca's at the place where she has an 18-hour fasting window. We should all at least have 12 hours. That means no snacking after dinner. And, you know, most of the time we're sleeping during our fasting time. It gives our body a chance to reset. It gives our body a chance to do the healing and the repair work that it needs to do when we're sleeping. It's our rest, everything. If it has to also digest while we're trying to sleep, that'll come first. Everything goes secondarily, see? There's a hierarchy of need there. So that's why we do these things. And then, you know, the other thing to understand is breakfast being the most important meal of the day is a simple untruth. That is propaganda from a cereal company. A cereal company way back when. Kellogg's got that one going. The most important meal of the day? No. We don't need to be carbing up on cereal. We don't. And have you noticed that when you eat a carb-rich breakfast, that suddenly you're hungry around 10 o'clock and you want to eat some more? But if you eat like bacon and eggs, which everybody was saying, ooh, this is just whatever. You know, what is that? What is that telling you? That's telling you that you can take 5 hours, you know, because that protein, the fat, and the carbohydrates, which aren't going to be causing belly fat to go around your waist, is going to hold you. It makes you feel good. You throw a little spinach in there, and now you've got a little fiber, green fiber at that, even better. And that will hold you for a very long time. And again, we break our fast, not at breakfast time. We break our fast when our bodies tell us it's time to eat. Isn't that so good? Don't you love that? That's freedom. That's freedom right there. It gives us the opportunity to start being in touch with what's going on in our bodies and being mindful and being able to move the needle literally in our lives because we're free, and literally between the number of on the scale. We can move the needle because now we're healing our hunger hormones. Now we're eating when it's time for us, not when the clock tells us. You're in control. I love that. To me, that was, you have no idea. That to me, when I learned this, and when I really did a deep dive, you know, a few years ago into intermittent fasting, I had a fit. And I had been doing it wrong for all this time. When I recognized what all the healing benefits were from eating when your body tells you to instead of when the clock tells you to, that is a game changer. That changes everything. The chemical processes that go on inside of your body and the healing that happens is huge. So keep that in mind. Write that down. Let that be your barometer, not the clock. All right, what else do we have? Rebecca says, also, my bone broth was not jiggly. What did I do wrong? I let it cook in the crock pot for 72 hours. Instead of making my own, what brand do you recommend? Okay, so we have, if you look at my Leanne Recommends page on the Saving Dinner, we have we recommend Kettle and Fire. And I think there's a code there for you, and I believe they're going to give you a special deal on it. I'm not sure, but I do like Kettle and Fire because they do a good job with it. I have to say, quite honestly, my homemade is way better flavor than that. I have used it. Of course I've used it. I've used it countless times. It's good stuff. They've done a great job with it. But again, I make my own every single week. Now, what is it that's going to give you the most jiggle, right? Feet, tons of bones, tons and tons of bones. If you're skimpy on the bones, you're not going to get the jiggle. The more bones you have in there, the more gelatin you're going to pull out of there to make the jiggle. And those little feet are full of gelatin. Now my daughter gags me when she does this, but she goes around and cuts off all the toenails. I do not do that. There's no manicures happening for those chicken feet. I'm sorry. And I always look at it as like, there's a lot of gelatin and keratin in those fingernails, so there is going to be in my chicken feet too. So let's use them. You know, they're cleaned, they're ready for use, so let's use them. I'm all about it. Make sure that you use it. So, Tammy, if you go to savingdinner.com, there on the navigation, right there on the very top, you'll see a Leanne Recommends page. And again, I haven't looked at it in a whole long time, but that is the brand that I recommend. They have it in the stores. It's a lot more expensive than making it homemade. So, oh Amy, I'm so glad you're here. Yes, gelatin's telling you that the collagen is there. It's also telling you that the glycine is there and the lysine is there. There's all kinds of ines in there. Lots of amino acids and lots of stuff that helps to heal your gut and helps to heal your joints. That's the thing that's so great about it. Plus your skin is absolutely lovely. It plumps. It plumps. I like plump skin. That's the only plump I want, right? You know exactly what I want. And make sure also that you're putting that apple cider vinegar into your water. I use a tablespoon or even two. And if you look at it, what you can get from that whole thing is that you get all kinds of flavor, and you get all kinds of micro minerals in there. Check Walmart has feet. Yes, and I put it in frozen. I put everything in frozen. I don't care. It's just like, bam, drop it in. It takes approximately less than 5 minutes to put this whole thing together. I filter my water. Sometimes that takes a little bit more. But the whole thing, putting the whole thing together, drop the bones, drop the carrots, drop the celery, onions, all the herbs and the garlic, salt, pepper, vinegar, water, done. Instapot for 2 hours. That's how we do it. And we do it that way because I don't want the smell. Now, if you don't have an Instant Pot and you're going to do it on the crock pot for 72 hours or whatever, my strong suggestion is you move that crock pot into your garage and cook it. Sorry. And the reason that I say that is because you will get sick and tired of the smell. Sick and tired of it. And it just, I don't want that smell in my house all that time. So that's just me. For you, it might be different. You might like it, but take it from me. It's nice to not always be smelling the same thing. All right, so let's see here. Come on, honey. There we go. There's the... I'm trying to get my thing to go. Thank you for all the time you put into teaching us on Facebook Lives. These are really beneficial. Well, you are so welcome, Rebecca. This is my pleasure. I love doing this. This is from Cheryl Scott. I watched the Proven series and bought the Lifetime Access. Lots of information to process and a little overwhelming. I know. But I also know Nick Pelosi, who is the filmmaker. I know him personally, and he's meticulous with details. It was really, really good. And they mentioned using milk thistle. Silymarin is milk thistle is the herb, and silymarin's the compound for cleansing your liver. What's my opinion on it? My opinion is that it's fantastic. We all need liver cleansing. Especially if we're gonna have a little glass of wine every now and then, we need to cleanse our liver. It's very, very easy for us to clean house with that. It really helps to support the liver. The liver is amazing because it regenerates itself. You could lose half your liver and have it still regenerate. That's how incredible it is. But we need to give it the tools that it needs so that it can clean itself up. It acts as a filtration system. It also stores glycogen. It does all kinds of things. So we need our livers. We also need them working at top speed. Fatty liver disease is something that's super prevalent and all over the place. We get fatty liver disease from too many carbs and eating a lot of crappy food, eating the wrong thing, not moving, not hydrating, just having a bad lifestyle. We can change all of that. We can change it all and clean things up if we do things to support our liver and to support our bodies. We need it with our lives. We need it with our lives. Okay. I'm working on it. Come on, my little friend. Just waiting on my computer to cooperate. Oops. Okay, this is from Ginger. And okay, this is a long one. Here we go. Reviewing an old acquaintance, was wondering what you can tell me about your supplements in the relation to brain function, especially dizziness prevention and memory dementia prevention. I've recently found out what seems to be the right answer for my other previous health issues. Diabetes, gone. Cholesterol, great. Both HDL and LDL are great. Blood pressure went way too low to perfect. Oh, way too low to perfect. I get it. I can walk quicker and for longer distances. My weight went from 193 to 141 between August and April. Between water and mineral water, I drink almost 2 gallons a day. Bowels are great. I do intermittent fasting on an almost solely carnivore diet and have better energy and stamina than in my previous years. But I still suffer way too much and too often suddenly from dizziness that the doctor has not yet been able to put a finger on. Do you have data on your supplements that discuss the advantages in this area? I currently only take D3 CalMag Zinc Blend and once in a while a B complex. Way interested in your new Wise Women's Focused, and now back to watching your videos. Thanks. Okay, so a couple of things. First of all, if your doctor can't tell you what the heck is going on, my strong suggestion is that you make sure that your diet is there to support you. Okay? Your diet has to support you. That means you need fat, carbs, and fat, fiber, and protein. Now, you're doing a carnivore diet, which I have looked into, and for some people it can be very healing. For those of you who don't know what it is, a carnivore diet is exactly what it sounds like. You eat like a lion, and you just do meat. And for some people, this is important because of IBS issues and other kinds of things. I am not an expert on it. I am just now starting to dig into the research on why this is supportive. There's a lot of people who are in my space that I admire who have done this with clients who have been previously unable to deal with certain things. So one of the things that I always look at is if a client of mine or a coaching client of mine has IBS or any kind of disruption, in their digestion, sometimes it is really helpful to change and get rid of the salads and only do cooked vegetables because that's a little bit easier to digest. Lots of bone broth, lots of collagen. We have the perfect paleo protein, and making sure that there's digestive enzymes in the process. Mary, I'm not into the blood type stuff, and there's no research really to support that. But there, I would look more at ethnicity instead of blood types, because ethnicity does play into things. People, that's a longer story, a longer discussion. What I'm looking at, though, is from this perspective, what I think that's so important is that if you are having sudden dizziness, that might be some kind of hypoglycemic reaction. I would also look into, it could be an electrolyte imbalance, because with a carnivore diet, that can happen. So I would strongly suggest, I love our hot melt mix. I think our hot melt mix is the back. This is the back. The best thing ever. What we have in it is potassium, magnesium, calcium, a little MCT oil. It all is supportive of keeping you so that you're not feeling woozy. So that might really, really help. The other thing that I would do is make sure that if just a little bit of carbohydrate might help on occasion, just to keep those blood sugar levels up. I don't know what your blood sugar is. You said you reversed out the cholesterol. So, I don't know what your blood sugar levels are because you didn't say on that, but it might be helpful if your blood sugar levels dip too low. I would certainly be testing. I'd get a blood glucometer, and I would be testing it before you eat, an hour after you eat, and 2 hours after even. Make sure you stab on the side of your finger. If you do it right on the pad, that's where all the nerve endings are, but do it on the side. That's going to make a big difference, and that might help you with all of this. I would also keep a food journal. Keeping a food journal might open up some things that you hadn't seen before. Like you have these dizzy episodes 2 hours after eating XYZ. So let's just take a look at all of these things. When we act like detectives, food detectives in our lives, we can start filling out some of the unknowns by keeping that food journal. Your hydration level is important, but also your electrolyte is important. If you're drinking, and you said you drink almost 2 gallons of water a day, you could be washing out a lot of electrolytes. That's a lot of water, especially for a woman who weighs 141 pounds. That's how many, that's more than half your body weight. So if you're drinking that much water, you might want to back down a little bit and replace some of those electrolytes. That might help a lot. So let's take a look at that. Our body clutter supplements, here they all are in black bottles, but they're going to be coming in white. I told you that. But here's the thing you have to look at. Our supplements, the supplements are all supportive of one another. The D3 is good for your immune system, and it also supports the CalMag that's doing the work in your bones. We add in the collagen. The collagen is like the matrix for this bone building. Remember, there's more collagen in your bones than there is calcium, which is, people go, whoa, you're kidding me. Yes, no, I'm not kidding you. That's an important thing to know. All of these things add together. You say you take a B complex occasionally. I say take a B complex daily. It is a stress buffer, okay? Also, you need to make sure that unless you've done some gene testing, to find out where you are in like 23andMe or something, do you have a mutated gene? A mutated gene, the MTHFR, is the thing, the game changer. 60%, not 50%, like I usually say. The new stat is 60% of the population has this mutated gene, which means they do not have the ability to methylate folate. That's why my daughter was in a car accident. I told you this when she was in college, and they found microscopic little holes up and down her spine when they did a x-ray to see when she had the whiplash. She was this close to having spina bifida. Mama took her supplements. Mama did not know about the MTHR gene at all, and neither did my doctor, And it was because I was taking unmethylated B vitamins. She didn't get the folic acid that she needed. She's had back problems all her life. Now we know why. So folate and also B12 have to be methylated for most of the population. That's what's in these. And I'm going to say one other thing. Taking vitamins and supplements on occasion isn't going to get you results. It's not. It's not like a pain reliever. You can take Inflacrusher like a pain reliever, but supplements do a job daily, on a daily basis. And you want them to come in, and you want them to do their job, and then you want to pee them out. That's exactly what all of these things do. They do their job. But they don't work if you take them on occasion. I mean, think about it, it makes sense, right? We don't just, we eat every day, we drink water every day, and we take our supplements every day. It's part of a healthy lifestyle. So if you think that you can just order them, take them, and then, whine and complain because you're not seeing a result, you haven't given it time. You need to get on this as a regime, as a program. You will start to see the results, some people quicker than others. You will start to see the results because these fill in the places where most of us don't have the diet to support them. We also need to make sure that we're going toward an anti-inflammatory diet. and take the supplements to support us and move ourselves, hydrate, and sleep, and our lives will change. Your health will change, and your blood test will come back and suddenly tell you something different. But for you, with all that water you're drinking, I would tone down the water a little bit and add in some electrolytes. Our hot melt mix is thebomb.com. Check it out. You can find it on savingdinner.com. When you click on the store up there with the supplements, it's right in there. Put a little bit into your water. It's amazing. I love it. And it's now in creamsicle flavor, and it's delicious. Okay, this is from Pam. I saw her there earlier. Okay, Pam, I participated in my first hot melt sprint last week and was thrilled with my results. This week, I've been continuing with the intermittent fasting, good, and low carb diet, good. Is the hot melt diet similar to hot melt sprint? I'm curious because I'd like to incorporate fruit and occasional carbs. Can't wait to sprint again. Okay, so here's what we need to look at, okay? And I'm gonna give you some really take it to the bank, good advice for you who wanna add in some more carbs. First of all, this is what we do. We play with it. We don't say, okay, so here it is. We play with it to see how we react with it. Understand that if your waist is over 35 inches, you don't need another solid single carb in your life ever again. The only kind of carbs that you need to be getting really are in the greens. I call them green fiber because the fiber is the thing. The fiber moves your bowels. The fiber helps your body to get rid of the toxins. The fiber, the fiber, the fiber. We want the fiber to do its thing in our digestive tract, right? We don't need carbs. It's not a need, because what do we get out of the carbs? We get the sucrose out of the carbs. That helps with brain function and body function. We can get out of the steak though. We don't need it to necessarily have carbohydrates. But if you're in the place where you're saying, but I want a little something. Okay, here's your fruit. Berries, no more than a half a cup a day. I would do a half a cup every other day. I would see how that's affecting your results. I would do it not just with the scale, but also with a measurement tape around your waist, okay? Around your waist, because your waist is the tell-all. Your waist is letting you know, hey, if your waist number is going up, you know what that's telling you? That's telling you that insulin is going a little wacky on you. You don't want that. Insulin is the fat storage hormone, and guess where it goes? Right to the middle, ladies. And guess where it's most dangerous? Right around the middle. We got to get rid of it. We need to get our waist down to 35 inches or less. And this is my rule that I have made up that I use as an absolute, and I've seen over and over and over again that when this happens, this is when the needle moves on your blood tests. Inflammation goes away too. Excuse me. So occasional carbs can work for some people, but occasional carbs can also be the thing that takes you down, can also be the thing that puts you back onto the carousel of crazy and back onto the food addiction carousel. You need to know yourself. Are you good with that? Can you have an occasional piece of pasta? Can you have, or a piece of pizza? Can you have an occasional bread? Can you have occasional this or that or the other thing? Dig deep. That's for you to find out, and for you to make your own food rules based on that. We're all different. Can I have a little bit of chocolate? Chocolate's a food, by the way. Chocolate happens to be a superfood, dark chocolate. Can I have a little bit of dark chocolate? Absolutely not. Because for me, it puts me right back on the carousel of crazy. One bite isn't enough. I need more. And will I ever get over this? Maybe at some point, but right now, I'm not willing to gamble with that. I just stay away. Last night, Mark and I are watching a little TV. We're just winding down after a long day and getting ready. And also, I'm gonna get getting ready for bed. It's 11 o'clock at night. Mark's he's into the chocolate and eating the chocolate. And I can smell it. And I'm thinking, that just smells really good. I love chocolate. And then I think, are you crazy? No, absolutely not. That is not something, I just shut it down. I've been down that road way too many times. And this time, it won't be different. Just this once is not an answer. Just a little bit doesn't work. If you have food addiction problems, get really granular and serious and honest with yourself. Is this going to take you right back down that black hole? Is it? Or is it just going to make you say, oh good, now that's over with, let's go to the next thing, and you'll just drop it for another month or so, and you don't have a 35-inch or greater waist, and you haven't had food addiction for things in the past, then you know what to do. Otherwise, keep close tabs on it, and if you see yourself going there, talk to your body clutter buddy and tell her you need accountability to not go there again. Just tell, this is from my heart to yours. As a food addict, I've got a lot of experience in that slippery place. All right, next up is from, come on my little friend, let's work. We got Margot on the mat here. As soon as my computer decides that it's gonna let me in. There it is, there it is. Okay, Margot says, I'm getting ready to order my labs for cholesterol levels. Would like to test for other things to get a baseline. Since I order my own labs and don't through a doctor, all right, what test do you suggest I order? Well, okay, so for women our age, and I think you're a little bit younger than I am, as I recall, Margot, several things. First of all, yeah, full lipid panel. You want the full lipid panel, and you also want to get, if you can, get the molecule size. Golly, what is the word? You need to get the lipid size, the size of the lipids. Because sometimes that's, that's how it works, is that you can say, that you're the same age as me. That's right. Okay, good. Well, then we're postmenopausal, and you know how that works. Postmenopausal, it's a whole different thing. We know where we are hormone-wise and all of that, but the lipid panel is important, and you do particle size is the name of it. If you need to, if you have cholesterol issues, here's the thing. If you have cholesterol issues in the past, it hasn't been brought down, and your doctor's getting freaked out about it, do a particle size test as well, because the particle size will tell you if you have if your HDL is the right size or if your LDL is too big. That's it. Your triglycerides and all of that. But yes, a total lipid panel. You also want to have your thyroid panel done, not just TSH. You also want a full panel with your antibodies test. Okay, that's extra money, well worth it, because if your TSH comes in at the area of just bumping up to past optimal and getting out of the range of being normal, you want to make sure that your T3, T4, the ratios are right, all the rest of it, and that you don't have antibodies out of control. Antibodies let you know that you have an autoimmune thyroid issue, like I do. So this is important information that doesn't get usually looked at until way later, when you're already feeling crappy, losing your hair, you've blown up in weight, and your thyroid hurts. Okay, we don't want to go there. Believe me, I've been there. Get your information, spend the money, have it with you, and be able to argue your case with your doctor in case he's going to push back on you. The other thing you want is your vitamin D levels. This is easy. You can get the vitamin D levels at any point. And this lets you know where you are. You want to get your levels to about 60. That is a good number, 60, 65. Normal is like 35, but the more you have, the better it is. You don't want to have you don't want it to be crazy high, but you also want it within range. So make sure that, vitamin D, our CalMag, and our vitamin D work together. Here it is over here. They work together, and they're pals. They do the work together. I think you've got them, but that will help you out a lot. So those are the tests that I recommend. Also, any kind of inflammatory tests you can do. The fibrinogen is one of them. Your CRAP test, I call it the crap test. That's there. What is it? Why can't I think of the name of it? But you know the ones. Those are some of the inflammation tests. Make sure that your inflammation is where it needs to. It shouldn't be hanging out there. Okay, my daughter has major. This is from Vanessa. My daughter has major gestational diabetes on her first pregnancy. What recommendation do you have for her second pregnancy, if any? Thank you. Enjoy your insights very much. Well, first of all, make sure that she has a methylated. If they're giving her a prenatal vitamin, that the B vitamins are methylated. That's critical. That's absolutely 100% critical. Her diet is going to be just as important, making sure that she's eating a very well-balanced diet with a pregnancy and the kind of energy that it takes. This is the one time that I recommend that carbs be added in. So for her would be like sweet potatoes and hard winter squashes and things that are very, very colorful. Eating from the rainbow of the vegetables that are in there. 8 to 10 servings of vegetables a day. The best way to do that with a pregnancy is to make up a nice soup with all of those vegetables in it. Be thinking red tomatoes. Be thinking orange carrots. Be thinking tons and tons and tons and tons of green. Add the sulfur vegetables in. That's onions and garlic. Those are the alliums. Also, mushrooms have lots of sulfur in it. Mushrooms are always cooked. Remember that. You should never eat mushrooms raw because of the toxins in all mushrooms. They cook out though, okay? Plus the cellulose, which is the fiber that's in there, is very, very difficult and hard on your digestive system and can give you a stomach ache. I have a tender tummy and I used to eat raw mushrooms, loved them on my salad. Since I've taken them out, so much better. So keep that in mind. But just basically a good prenatal vitamin, a good one, with all the things in it. I don't like to go against what the doctors say, and I don't like to do supplements on the side for that kind of a thing, but just making sure that that prenatal vitamin has adequate folic acid in it and all the other B vitamins in it, and that the B12 and the folic acid are both methylated. Critical. You heard my story about my daughter Caroline. You don't want to go there. So that's really important. Also, the thing that I would say with the carbs, make sure, because of gestational diabetes, she has a propensity to have regular, full-blown type 2 diabetes after her pregnancy. She's got to get the pregnancy weight off. She's got to get her waist down to 35 inches after she's had that baby. If she's nursing, she's got to keep her milk supply up and keep making sure she's drinking a lot of water. That's quality protein. Basically, following the sprint would work really well for her, but I would throw in a sweet potato, some hard winter squash, and even some baked potatoes. Those kind of things are needed for the energy that she needs to create a baby. She's creating a baby. It's a beautiful time. So I think this is what everything is going to... Suzanne, folic acid and folate are the same thing. It's just how it's processed. That's all. Okay? So here we go. This is all your information right here. This is going to help you out. We did all of our Q&As, and you guys are now ready and equipped to go out there and crush your weekend. Yeah? I am. So thanks so much for joining me today, and thank you so much for sharing this video and for being such a support. You guys are just everything. You know, we have glycozyme is our supplement of the week. You want to get 3 of those, you're going to get 1 free. Just put 3 in the cart. We'll take care of the 4th one for you. Mindful Mug, $200. If you spend $200, I will send you this and say thank you very much because I appreciate you. And do not forget, if you go to savingdinner.com/house, you guys get to jump in and be a part of this life-changing conference that Marla and I are doing together. It's a week from this Saturday, and we are geared up and excited. I can't wait to see you guys. Totally. I will see you tomorrow for Soulful Saturday. Share this video, and I will tell you what, I will see you tomorrow. Peace out.